Good morning, everyone, and good evening and good night. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. You are in the webinar of Marketing Strategy for Engineers and Technologists. My name is Hua. I'm the Program Manager for Engineering Management at the University of Colorado Boulder. And thank you so much for joining us. We are excited. Today, we'll hear from a faculty and a course facilitator from CU Boulder's EMP program on their experience with the marketing strategy course. As we wait just a few more minutes, go ahead and share in the chat what is your industry background. So this webinar will be recorded, and actually, let me make sure it's being recorded right now. And perfect, it is. Okay. So everyone here, you will receive a copy of the recording in just a few more days. And if you miss anything today, that's totally fine. You'll be able to refer back to that recording to find it. The chat feature is located at the bottom of Zoom. So if you float the mouse to the bottom, you'll be able to see there's a chat, there's a Q&A. The Q&A feature is for your questions. So throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to just type that in the Q&A. We will be able to address that at the end. We'll have about 15-20 minutes or so, and we'll try to get through as many things as we can. And I'm seeing there's already a lot of industry background coming through. So we have Patrick here from aerospace and defense. That's great. Nashant here from healthcare industry. We have Ivan here from IT project manager. It's awesome. And then we have Sebastian, who's doing oil and gas. Axel, who's from the background of construction. And then we have a few other aerospace backgrounds, Nicole, and then Brooke from pharma and biotech. Oh, really, really cool. Nice. Multiple industries from Dave, ICT, a few people from ICT, management engineering, software engineering. Well, thank you so much for sharing about yourself. We are so glad to have you here with us. Hopefully, this will be really great information for all of you. And if you have any questions about the courses or about the student experience, feel free to just put those questions in the chat. All right. So today we will start with a faculty presentation, and then we will go through a few questions for our course facilitator, Siley, to kind of share her experience as a facilitator. Next, we will share a few facts about CU Boulder and the engineering management program on Coursera. Finally, we'll have those 15 minutes or so to answer any questions from all of you. Okay, all right. So without further ado, let's bring out our panelists. We will go around and introduce ourselves, and we'll say what is our name, what's our background, and a fact about us. So I'm gonna get us started. My name is Shane. I'm the program manager for engineering management on Coursera from CU Boulder. Fact about me is that I've been growing alpine strawberries on my balcony this summer, and they are really tiny, but they're packed with flavor. So if you live around in an alpine area, then feel free to explore that. I recommend it. And now I'm going to pass it on to Professor John Svoboda to introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I'm John Svoboda, and I've been teaching at CU for 10 years, and part of that at 25 years in industry and various high-tech industries and construction. And a tidbit about me is my preferred modality for vacations is bike touring. So I would be going point to point to point on a bicycle around the US or other countries. And most recently, I did this in the Italian Alps, and it was wonderful.
Great. And Sally, would you mind introduce yourself next?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Saili Didolkar, and I am the course facilitator for the engineering management program on Coursera. So I grew up in India. I did my bachelor's in information technology there. and currently I'm pursuing Masters in Engineering Management. And in 2 weeks, I would be starting my third semester. A fun fact about me is that I won Best Handwriting competition in my school for straight 5 years in three languages: English, Marathi, and Hindi. So, Marathi and Hindi are the regional languages of India. So, that's me. I'd like to pass it on to Carolyn.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carolyn Carpenter. I am the enrollment representative from Coursera that works directly with the University of Colorado. When you request information online, I'm normally the person that would reach out to you by phone or by email. I was a former teacher in high school teacher and community college professor for many years, around 20 years. And a fun fact is I love anything to do with the ocean. I competitively sail, and I also love scuba diving.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, next we have Professor John Svoboda, who's going to tell us a little bit about the marketing strategy for engineers and technologists specialization.
All right, so, I think one of the questions that's kind of ever present in a lot of engineers' minds is, why should I bother with all this marketing stuff? Why do I need to have a knowledge foundation in this area? I mean, you design and build the great product, the best one, it's automatically going to win, right? Wrong. And business history is rife with stories of fantastically designed products that failed to garner much market space. And we're going to go through a very famous example just to kind of bring it to life for you all. So BMW has long dominated the sports sedan market. And this was true back when Infiniti decided to invest a ton of money in designing their next generation car, the G35. And Infiniti's part of Nissan. They actually did a fantastic job, spent about $500 million developing that vehicle. It was the equal of BMW in objective performance, but their marketing held them back. Next slide, please. So here are two commercials, first Infiniti and then BMW from this era.
A simple brushstroke unites performance and design. With the engine placed near the center of gravity, and the wheels pushed to the far corners, a simple brushstroke becomes the more agile, more balanced G35. Infiniti. A line has been drawn.
Now BMW. All right, so you can see that stylistically, the two ads are very different, coming from very different places. Infiniti kind of has a smooth and poetic approach, and BMW's is much more aggressive. And so again, the market here are people who buy sports sedans, high performance vehicles. And this profile is someone typically is pretty high disposable income, and they are into high performance. Maybe they actually do a little racing themselves on weekends. They follow car racing. And the Infiniti ad is really kind of taking a more generalized approach and applying it to a certain category of product. And there's now a mismatch because they haven't really adjusted their marketing to fit the consumer they're going after here. And BMW are expressing through this very minimalist ad, like they don't even show the product. And so the courage that is reflected in their ability to know that the true enthusiast, the market they're going after, the buyer they want, understands that that double kidney shape is BMW. They don't even need to show the car, even put up the BMW name until the end. And so this is communicating that, we get you, we are you, this is, we are like you. We go out on weekends and race too. And we understand you enough that this kind of like insider communication modes here, things that your average consumer would not understand. That engine note is a specifically high performance M engine. A true enthusiast recognizes that. Most people don't. So it's making sure that we're on a relational level with our customers, and therefore we've seen tremendous success on the BMW side here. Next slide, please. Right. So the engineering is absolutely essential. You have to have a great product, but it's not enough for business success. BMW truly gets its customers. Infiniti didn't really understand them then. Infiniti threw a lot of money at all sorts of things, sponsoring Red Bull Racing and all this stuff, but it was always at a very synthetic, artificial level. The BMW reputation as a driver's car continues a couple of decades later, still generating profits for BMW, and Infiniti still having a very small fraction of market share in the United States. And quite frankly, BMW continues to sell good numbers of vehicles, even when their products are mediocre, because they have that strong reputation. Next slide, please. All right. So as a means of acquiring skills and abilities that would allow you to strategically plan for launch of tech products into marketplaces towards success, we're going to develop entrepreneurial marketing plans. Limited resources factor of a startup company makes it real world. Everyone in the course goes out and identifies a company of their choosing in order to analyze their position and develop a marketing plan for them. Essentially, put on the hat of a management consultant who's been hired from outside the company to come up with a marketing plan. And then we apply state-of-the-art frameworks towards analyzing real-world revenue generation so that we really can understand, at what point this becomes profitable and leads to success of the company. How to operate digital advertising campaigns, so all across social media channels, LinkedIn, Meta, and Google search. These are skills that are tremendously in demand going forward, and AI, if anything, has actually increased demand for skills in these areas. And then crystallizing those linkages between what the customer needs and wants, what we then design into a product, service, or software, and then how that ultimately links to sales success and the next generation of fantastic product by feeding back into the system the customer's wants and desires. And that's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor John Svoboda. Cool. Perfect. So next we have 3 questions for our course facilitator, Siley. She will share a little bit about her experience as a student and as a facilitator. The first question here is, what do you enjoy about the marketing strategy for engineers and technologists specialization?
Yeah. As a master student, I find the marketing strategy for engineering and technology fascinating because it teaches you how to use marketing principles to make complex technical products to more relatable and engaging to its audience. Plus, it's also exciting to think about how strategies can influence the success of a product in real world and how technology can be positioned to solve real problems. It's not just about selling a product, but it's also about creating a compelling story that resonates with the target audience, which is a skill worth developing. Additionally, I would also like to say that the materials on Coursera are incredibly comprehensive with a mix of videos, articles, quizzes, assignments, and peer reviews. The course provides a proper structured learning experience, Everything you need is right there, and it's incredibly easy to access, making the learning process both efficient and enriching.
Thank you so much, Siley. The second question is, how have you applied the knowledge and skills to your career or your life?
First of all, I'd like to say that one of the most important things that I've learned through marketing is storytelling, and it's a skill that I use every day in my life. As a student, I talk to a lot of people, I make a lot of connections, and I'm always figuring out my next steps, whether it would be a job or some other opportunity. And this course helps me position myself and present myself in a way which stands out and also makes me more admirable. Being a course facilitator has taught me how to stay more organized and manage my time effectively. It has also helped me improve my communication skills because I interact with many students, either through mail or through my office hours. And it has also made me more empathetic towards students' needs. And lastly, I would also like to share my experience with Professor Svoboda. I took one of his classes last semester, and I had also started my course facilitator job at the time. And he always kept us engaged with the study materials, case studies, and thought-provoking questions. So that it taught me how to retain my knowledge more efficiently and effectively. I really enjoyed taking his classes. And overall, being a student, it's just really fun. It teaches you many lessons.
Thank you, Siley. All right, the final question here is, what advice would you give to a future student?
As a student myself, my first advice would be try not to procrastinate on your assignments. Do not wait until the last minute to finish your tasks because it adds a lot of unnecessary stress because you also have to do peer reviews. And I would also recommend taking only the number of courses that you can handle because many of our students are working. They try to squeeze all their work on weekends, which is totally fine. But if that is the case with you, I would say take lesser courses per semester so you can avoid being overwhelmed. Another piece of advice I would like to share is to make the most of office hours. Even if you don't have any specific question about the course content, you can just come and chat, and the course facilitators would be happy to chat with you. You can get a better understanding of the topics. We can navigate you through Coursera, and yeah, we can figure out anything that you want to talk about. Also, I would say take one module at a time. Take your course. Coursera does a great job of helping you track your own progress. So if you're falling behind, you would know. Just go with the flow and remember to enjoy the learning process. Finally, I would like to say something about the use of AI. Make sure that you check the course modules for guidelines on how to use the AI because it is different for all the courses, and the materials will help you understand what is acceptable and what is not. Remember to present your own ideas. That's how you learn and grow. So take advantage of the resources, ask questions, and enjoy the learning.
Thank you so much, Siley. I love how you said about enjoy the learning, take your time with it, and you could power through things, but that learning and reflection does take time. And Professor Svoboda have very engaging materials, and Coursera make it pretty digestible to move from module to module. That's awesome. Thank you. Perfect. All right, next we have a quick Zoom poll. We just have 3 questions here, and I'm gonna launch that right here. For our panelists, feel free to, take a break if you would like. And then we'll just leave this Zoom poll on the screen for a few minutes. We'll give everyone about 2 minutes or so to take a look here. So this will help us to kind of understand where we're at and stuff like that. Great. Okay, I'm seeing some of the votes coming in. Perfect. Cool. So as we kind of give everyone a few minutes to look at these polls, we'll just pivot a little bit and talk about the University of Colorado Boulder. Okay. The University of Colorado Boulder is a world-class university. Our engineering college is ranked top 20 in the nation by US News. Founded in 1876, we are a Tier 1 Research 1 institution, and we count 5 Nobel Prize winners, 12 MacArthur Genius Grant Fellows, and over 90 Fulbright Scholars since 2023. The marketing strategy for engineers and technologists specialization stacks into our Master of Engineering in Engineering degree. So those 3 credits here will count towards the 18 credits of electives of the degree. The degree itself is 30 credits. The Master of Engineering in Engineering Management degree offers the same diploma as our on-campus degree. And our on-campus degree does require a rigorous application process, but our MEM on Coursera does not require an application. So no TOEFL scores, no GRE, and no letters of recommendation or transcript. All you need to do is to prove you can do the work by earning that 3.0 CU Boulder GPA and pass one of those pathway specializations listed on the screen here. So either finance for technical managers or project management, get that B's or better, and after grades are final, you will be admitted. If the idea of a 30 credit degree is so daunting for you, there's a few ways to explore our content. So if you're interested in a marketing course, you could start with the non-credit portions of that course. You can access most of the content, the videos and the readings with just a Coursera subscription. And you'll be able to complete a lot of quizzes and you can earn that Coursera completion certificate at the end. What you do not earn with the Coursera Plus subscription is the academic credit or a letter grade from CU Boulder. In order to earn credit towards a degree or earn that letter grade, you need to actually become a CU Boulder student. So the way to do that is to complete that account creation form on our website. We'll show you in just a few minutes. Enroll and pay CU Boulder tuition. You will be prompted to complete a quick onboarding course that just goes through some policies and expectations. You will get access to additional assessments to earn that letter grade, and most importantly, a final. So that's going to be only on the 4 credit side of the courses. And in return, you will get access to additional student services. So our course facilitator, like Siley here, they host office hours, they answer student tickets, and they're available to our 4 credit students who are CU Boulder students. We also have CU Boulder career services provided to our students as a resource, digital library services. And one of the biggest perk of all to me is that our 4 credit students will be able to get access to those non-credit courses offered by our program for free. So if you are a 4 credit student in CU Boulder, then you will get access to the Master of Engineering, Engineering Management on Coursera courses, the non-credit ones for free, and you'll get access to the MS Computer Science, MS Data Science, MS Electrical Engineering, MS Artificial Intelligence, those non-credit electives for free. So you can explore a little bit and then see what are the courses that's interesting to you. Here's another reminder, if you have any questions about the marketing courses or about the student experience, feel free to use that Q&A icon and just put questions there. In terms of the 4 credit enrollment, the process had changed a little bit since the summer. So this is what it might look like. All of our students will start from this link here. So colorado.edu, ALI, choose your path. So if you have never taken a course from CU Boulder on Coursera before, then you want to actually click on that new student icon that will become available on August 20th. And then tell us a little bit about yourself by creating your student account. At the end of that account creation form, you'll be asked to indicate which program you're interested in. And if you're trying to take the marketing courses, then just check engineering management. You can say you're not interested in the degree. If you're not ready, you can change that later on. What is different for that learning goals, this part at the bottom, is that the learning goals are not official declarations. That's different than the program declaration here. So the learning goals is just an indicator to tell us, oh, you are interested in the Design for Circular Economy certificate, for example, so we can send you some more information about that. All right, so if you're a new student, you created an account, the next few steps have to do with becoming a CU Boulder student. So make sure that you are activating your student login, which is what we call CU Boulder identity key. Make sure you check your CU Boulder Outlook email once a week or more often than that. And then enroll on Buff Portal. And that's the class search and enrollment in the 4-credit side looks like. So you can see the top 3 courses here. Those are the marketing courses we talked about today. Once you're done with enrollment, make sure you check in Buff Portal. If you're seeing the right courses listed, you're good to go. In this process, if anything comes up and things doesn't look right, just send us an email, emp-coursera@colorado.edu. You could also give our enrollment representative, Carolyn, who you just met earlier in this webinar, book an appointment with her. So her appointment link is on the screen. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. All right. Okay, to find more information or request more information, feel free to click on that request information button at the Master of Engineering, Engineering Management Coursera site. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have shared a lot of information with you, and I see there's a few questions in the Q&A. Carolyn, would you mind to tell us what are the questions being asked?
Yes, not a problem. So we have one question that I thought we should answer live. Okay. So it says, what courses do you offer for entrepreneurial healthcare startups, as the domains for healthcare and other domains are quite different? So is there anything that would apply to healthcare startups?
That's a great question and very specific. We do have one of the specialization. So I'm going to just try to answer that and now popcorn to Professor Svoboda. We have a specialization that's taught by Dr. Johnny Thomas on entrepreneurship and technology. So feel free to take a look, go to our website and search our courses and see if you can find that. If you do have the Coursera subscription, feel free to preview the course and see if that helps. I wouldn't say that's specifically addressing the healthcare startups. It is definitely addressing entrepreneurship and technology. So Professor Svoboda, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I just say that it wouldn't be very efficient to have actual distinct courses for all the different sectors of tech startups. But medical devices and healthcare more broadly definitely comes up in our entrepreneurial courses. We do have a new faculty member just added, and hopefully eventually her medical device focused product course will also be added to Coursera.
Perfect. And if you're entrepreneur, You might actually benefit from learning a little bit about marketing, right? It's important to have those skills of not just making the product, but market that, explore who's your audience, and expand those boundaries. Cool. Perfect. Carolyn, is there anything else?
Yes, so we have a question about taking a dual master's. So Kate here is getting her master's in chemical engineering and was wondering if she can also do the EM on Coursera at the same time.
That's a very interesting question. I'm assuming that is from CU Boulder. If it is from CU Boulder, then students can earn our degree at the same time of earning other degrees. If the tricky part is about credits counting. So if your goal is to have a few credits to count towards 2 degrees, unfortunately, we don't offer that as an option. Our traditional program, on the other hand, do have some options with, for example, aerospace. Those are courses that another option you can look into. If you are just thinking about obtaining 2 degrees separately, but also at the same time, then yes, that is an option for sure.
Okay, I'm just reading the question by Edwin. It is about the enrollment process. He's a little confused about the enrollment process. Let me just read real quickly here. If you could just re-explain the new process that we have for enrollment, that would be great. And yes, if you could do that, that would be great.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So let's go back a couple slides here. And then I see a hand up. Feel free to just type that questions in the Q&A, Sebastian. Right now, we're just doing addressing all the student questions in the Q&A. If you click on the icon, you'd be able to type that in. Thank you. Okay, so with enrollment, this new process is a little bit confusing. So thank you so much for raising that, Edwin. For starting on August 20th is when Fall 1 enrollment will open. And if you are a new student, you've never engaged with CU Boulder before, and you want to take a 4-credit course, then please feel free to start with this link right here. That link will lead you to this student-facing site that says new student, current students, or returning student. So if you have taken a course with either our program or DS, CS, AI programs, you're a current student, then please click on the current student side of it. So if you're brand new to CU Boulder, then you will be asked to complete this account creation form and then indicate what program you are interested in. So let's just call that step 1, kind of setting up your account. The next would be step 2, which would be enrollment. So after you set up your account, you'll receive information from the OIT to activate your student login and activate your CU Boulder email and be able to enroll in Buff Portal, which is that student dashboard that you're referring to. So from Buff Portal, you'll be able to search and add courses into your shopping cart and pay tuition and check that out. So once you are done with this part, you should see that course showing up on Buff Portal right here. There's a couple more steps. That's just linking your Coursera account and linking your CU Boulder, the 2 accounts, CU Boulder and Coursera account together. So any progress that you've made in the non-credit side, maybe using a Coursera subscription, will be able to transfer to your 4-credit side. We also do encourage students to just save your progress off platform just in case any projects and assignments you've submitted, but your progress should transfer with you. And finally, make sure you complete that short onboarding course that just goes through some policies and how to do peer reviews, what's academic honesty look like in CU Boulder. Then you will get access to the 4 credit side of those courses, which include the policy quiz, the final, the honor code verification, any additional 4 credit component.
And Edwin also asked another question that is often asked to me over the phone or by email. So throughout the 30 credits, students do need to maintain a 3.0 grade point average, not just with the pathway specializations. But he's worried, what happens if you fail a course? Are you able to repeat it? How can you prevent failure? If you could just give a little advice about that and the policy, that would be great.
That's a great question. I can address what happens if you fail a course, and maybe Siley can talk a little bit about how to prevent falling behind and failing a course. So you can always retake a course. The CU Boulder policy for grade replacement is that students can retake a course that with a grade of C+ or lower for any graduate students. So your second attempt would be the attempt that actually count towards your GPA. Your first attempt will show up on your transcript, but it will not count towards your GPA. In terms of the only case that students cannot do grade replacement would be academic honesty violations. So if that's something that happens, then that student won't be able to retake the course. All right, I'm gonna pass it to Siley.
Yeah. In terms of completing your work and not falling behind, I would say that you try to complete one module each week, and there are videos and quizzes, and at the end of every module you'll have one assignment. But the catch here is that if you submit your assignment, you get 50% of your grade, and the other 50% of your grade depends on your peer reviews. So you will get 3 assignments to review, and if you review all those 3 assignments, 50% grade is yours. So and your assignment will also be reviewed by 3 people based on a rubric. So according to this, you'll get your total score once you do all of these things. What happens is students don't complete their peer reviews. So even if you don't complete one peer review, your 16% of your score gets reduced. So I would recommend complete your assignments on time, submit your assignment so that you get time to review other people's assignment and get your grade correctly.
Great, thank you so much, Siley. One more, I guess, advice in terms of students' concern. One thing that sometimes we see is that a student would complete the non-credit side of the course, so the quizzes, the videos, the readings, and then not realizing that they have additional components on the 4 credit side. So after you have enrolled and paid tuition, definitely after you complete that onboarding course, definitely check your Coursera portal to make sure that you see that final module. That final module is what will unlock that letter grade for you. Oftentimes students complete a lot of content ahead of time and then forget to check if they have a final or not. So make sure that you manage your time, and at the end of the session, check everything, making sure there's nothing on your to-do list. Perfect. Cool. Carolyn, do you have any other questions?
I'm looking at a question from Christelle. She is wondering about advising. How would you get an advisor? Is there, is there graduate advising? She's also worried about the degree itself. Is it the same degree that you would receive on campus? Is it accredited? That's what I'm getting from her question.
Yeah, great question, and really, really commonly asked question. Um, the diploma itself is the same as our on-campus degree. Um, there on your transcript or on your diploma, there will be no mention of Coursera or online. You can find this information on our website as well. We have quite a few webinars to kind of address that. The degree itself is accredited with CU Boulder's accreditation from the Higher Learning Commission, HLC. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. In terms of advising, yes, we do have a graduate advisor. And actually, I've been the graduate advisor up until this point, and we will be onboarding a new person soon. So we'll have a couple of options for you. If you have questions about policies, add and drop time, or petitions, or tuition, feel free to reach out to us. Advisors can address any of the questions. You can also reach out to our course facilitators, so like Sally here. They are the facilitators and experts of those Coursera course sessions. They can address any questions about, am I done with everything in my module? I just want to double check here. Or, hey, I'm not sure what this test is asking me for. Can you explain a little bit? Any course-specific questions like that. So when you become a 4-credit student, you can email emp-coursera@colorado.edu. That's our ticketing system, and that those student questions will be filtered to different teams in CU Boulder.
Thank you, Shane. And I'm going to partially answer this question for Brooke Moore. She was asking, this is a very common question. A lot of people think they need to finish the pathway with their Coursera Plus subscription, or maybe they have a corporate license from their company. It's a great way to get ahead to start the classes if you have Coursera Plus or a license from your company, but it's not required to finish the pathway on Coursera first as a Coursera learner. If you know you want to start the master's and take it for credit, you can just enroll directly as a Colorado student. All of those courses, the pathway courses, count towards your master's. So while you're in the admissions process, you complete 10% of your credits for the master's. So if you know you want to do it and you've made the decision, you can just enroll directly with the university. Okay. Okay, oh, this is another common question. What are the maximum number of courses per semester? Now remember, on the online, the CU Boulder on Coursera, each term is 8 weeks, but it's asking how many can you take per semester according to university policy?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and we actually get that a lot. When you are new, our recommendation is for you to start with 1 to 3 courses per session, per 8-week session. So in fall 1, if you've never tried our courses on Coursera before, you're interested in the marketing course, I'd say start with 5094, that first course of the sequence. You could register for 1595, 1596 at the same time, because those 3-credit course, that's the full specialization that's adapted from our traditional campus marketing course. If you are a current student and you happen to have a lot of time on your plate, you want to really move ahead, then typically our cap is 15 credits per semester. So that included 2 sessions, the 8-week session 1 and 8-week session 2. The 15 credit rule is set by the graduate school. So you could take, for example, 6 credits in session 1 and then see how that's working for you. And you can take up to another 9 credits in session 2. Just want to say that, as Siley had mentioned before, learning takes time, and especially if you're a working professional, enjoy the time that you're spent to immerse with the learning material, because sometimes that is one of the few times you have that opportunity to kind of immerse yourself and learn about this topic. Yeah, so I see Professor Svoboda has his hand raised.
Yeah, Shane, I just thought it might be useful information point. Do you have an idea of roughly the average number of credits carried per session by students?
Yeah, the average, I would say it's about like 2.3. So people are kind of doing between two to three credits per session. If you are thinking about the 16-week semesters, then that's about 5 credits per semester.
Okay, great. So we have a question from a current student about the use of Canvas. They said they received an email about using that platform. I don't know if that's actually used with the CU Boulder on Coursera program.
That's a great question. Ignore that email. June, it's a standard email sent by the CU Boulder main campus to all of our students. That does not apply to our degrees on Coursera students. So you don't need to worry about that. You won't miss anything. It doesn't apply.
Okay, is there another question from the same student? Is there a maximum credit you can enroll in each session? So it's in the past, it's been restricted on the enrollment form to enroll in 3, but can you take more? Can you enroll at a later date in more courses?
Yes, absolutely. You can enroll during the enrollment window. So for fall one, the enrollment window opens on August 20th, I believe 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. If you're thinking about enrolling in any of the marketing courses, bookmark your calendar. That's a great time to do that. You'll have access to the courses starting on August 25th. So that's the first day of the session. And then the enrollment window, I believe, will close around October 13th, something like that. Caroline, feel free to correct. Okay, thank you. So the previous version of the enrollment form that if you're a current student, then you've been using that previous version of the enrollment form is capped at 3 credits per form. And in the past, students can submit multiple forms, but for our full-time working students, oftentimes that is how many credits they want to take. The 5 to 6 credits is per semester, so that include 2 sessions, right? When we change to this new enrollment process on the screen here, that for our current student, you will start actually here from Buff Portal. You don't need to create your account and everything because you already have an account. Then you can enroll in the courses through a class search tool that looks like this. And then I see Sally had her hand raised. Do you have anything to add, Sally? No? Okay. No worries.
No.
Sounds good. Perfect. Do we have any other questions, Carolyn?
Shane, I don't see any new questions. Excellent questions. Any last minute dire needs? Anybody want to know more about the program? Any questions for our professor? Okay, so Edwin is back. Thanks, Edwin. We have enrolled versus admitted. This is often a confusing terminology. Can you explain the difference between an enrolled student and an admitted student into the master's program?
Sure, yeah. So if we're talking about 4 credit enrollment, that means you've taken a course that's 4 credits. You paid CU Boulder tuition. So that makes you a CU Boulder student, but not a Master of Engineering in Engineering Management student yet. So for example, you are completing the first course, the EMEA 5094, the first course in the marketing specialization, then you are enrolled 4 credit student. To get admitted to the master's degree, then you do need to complete our our pathway specialization. So we had that in an earlier slide. There's two pathway specializations. Those are finance for technical managers or project management. You need to complete those 4 credit and then maintain that 3.0 CU Boulder GPA for any of the courses you're enrolled in CU Boulder on Coursera programs. You will get that official letter of welcome to the degree. You are admitted to NEM once grades are final, and we verify every student. So that's admission. If you want to start with the marketing courses and then figure out the enrollment process later on, and see if you like the courses we offer, you can definitely do that. So for any students who start with our electives, you can always go back to take those admission pathway courses at any point before you finish all the requirement to graduate. And then you'll be admitted, and we can look at everything you've taken prior will be automatically counted towards that credit, towards your degree.
Okay, I'm going to take a stab at the next question here. It says, can courses taken as a non-degree student count towards the EM program? If you're taking the courses with the Coursera Plus subscription or the Coursera license your company might provide you, you're taking them for non-credit. If you would like to have them for credit and have them count towards a master's or a graduate certificate, or simply have the credits, you would need to enroll directly with the University of Colorado. It would be the same course name when you enroll. And when you link your personal account or your business account, your company email, when you link it with the new student account that Colorado gives you, the Outlook email, all of your coursework will transfer over, and then you will finish the course as a Colorado student taking a final assessment, whether it's a final exam, a project, a peer review, whatever the final assessment would be, designated from the professor.
Perfect. Great. Okay.
We have a few more minutes here. We have questions from Nicole. Can you take both pathways? Okay, finance and project management. I am wanting to do both. Nicole, guess what? Yes, you can, because they're all required. Both pathways are required, plus 2 more specializations, technical communication, and leadership skills. So the first 12 courses, the first 12 credits are required. Then you have 18 electives. Sorry, Shane, do you want to add something to that? I kind of jumped in there.
Yeah, totally agree. You can take both of them before you graduate, and you will have to. In order to be admitted, you do not have to finish all the core and all the pathway specialization. You only need to finish one full specialization. Then you'll be admitted, and you can work your way through all the core courses and mixing some of the electives. Our degree is fairly flexible, so you can determine what course you're interested in and take them in any order that you makes sense to you.
All right, and this is a question I will definitely pass off to Colorado here. It says, I'm currently a BS Business Administration major at CU Denver, and I am interested in the EM program. She is working with an advisor at CU Denver. Do you have any information about the integration of these 2 university systems with Coursera? That's something obviously you would know much more about.
Yeah, of course. Jennifer, that's a really interesting question. And thank you so much for being interested in our degree. There's not too much integration between the 2 systems. The CU Denver system and our CU Boulder traditional system, there's integration there. For example, your GPA from CU Denver will show up for CU Boulder's traditional, any of the traditional degrees. However, for our degree on Coursera, you actually will go through the same process as any new student. So you will start with that new student button and then create an account. So some of the tools we're using, like Buff Portal, for example, might seem kind of familiar to you, but the rest of it, all the courses will be on Coursera. The GPA would be a graduate degree on Coursera GPA. So that's going to be separate from your undergraduate CU Denver GPA. So just to keep things pretty clear, it's pretty separated. There's not too much integration you need to worry about.
Well, thank you, Shane. I don't see any more questions. We're coming up to the top of the hour, so let me know if you'd like to add anything else. Would anyone like to add something else?
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who is here and asked really great questions. And thank you so much for your engagement. We really appreciate it. So if you joined late, that's totally fine. You will get a copy of this recording in just a few more days, so you can review that. And you can refer to information on our website, both our program website and our Coursera website right here. If you have additional questions, please feel free to talk to Carolyn here. She might have already given you a call. You may already have her number, so that's wonderful. When you become a graduate student in CU Boulder, a full credit student, then our team takes over. We address any questions from you. All right, okay. So thank you again for being with here this hour. We hope you feel inspired. We hope to see you in one of our courses, either non-credit or for credit. And happy learning. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.